Hi there, Outlander, and welcome to the BroTalk, the most randomic podcast with subjects to make you think. My name is Augusto,
And my name is Marcus.
and we are here today to continue with our previous topic, which was music.
Yeah, today we're gonna talk about movies and entertainment, and TV
shows,
shows probably.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And as always, to extract some knowledge, some words of wisdom out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
what we strive every day. So drink water, a lot of it.
And by the way, they have released the final part of the Money Heist. I
Money
think
Heist.
it was Friday, isn't it? December 3rd.
Something like that.
Yeah, have you watched it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Well, let's think. I didn't like the TV show itself because of something that happens to all TV shows. They get, mining it, milking it to the point where they're just bones
Yeah.
out of the show. So that's something that was very, very annoying of Money Heist. But the episodes themselves, the end of the show itself, it was great. It was very good. Did you watch it?
I did, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was very nice, very cool.
I thought that by the end they would all die. I'm sorry for the spoiler, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But I think I like the rap they did on the show.
I think it would be better if they died. It would be
think so?
such a huge plot twist at the end of the thing. It would, I don't know, like Stephen, I forgot the name of that horror author. Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Stephen King,
Yeah.
where the main character always gets screwed at the end of the movies.
I don't know, man. I don't think I would like that. I think I'm kind of happy with the ending, so.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very
Yeah, it
cool.
was.
It would be an interesting plot twist, very interesting one.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, it doesn't happen, and that's it. Because if you are watching or listening to this and you didn't watch the ending season of Money Heist, it's not a big spoiler. I think you already expect that. So,
Yeah, for sure.
moving on.
Not much. And yeah, that was basically what I did on my weekend. And I kind of stopped watching Peaky Blinders because of that. Just a little stop, but I'll come back today.
Yeah, Peaky
And
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders is so fucking good, man. That's awesome.
I think that in the UK, the sixth and final season has already been released. But I'm not sure. I think it
Oh.
already has. But in Brazil, I think it will be in February, which is a shame.
Wait, it already has 6 seasons, isn't it?
Yes, the sixth
Alright.
one
So
has been released on the UK. I think maybe the US.
I thought it was released here.
No, it will be released here on February,
Okay, got
which
it.
is shameful.
Yeah.
I
We
don't.
can use VPN and try to watch it, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it in English anyway. I don't even know how the characters sound in Portuguese.
I
Is it
watched
good?
a small clip on YouTube, right? But it's weird because you're so used to the accents and the ambience.
Yeah.
The voices that they make, the actors make to portray the characters make such a big difference
Yeah, I also think so.
in the
A
way.
really big difference.
Especially in this case, in Peaky Blinders, it's so weird to listen to Tommy Shelby speaking Portuguese. Weird. I'm a fan not of listening of everything in English. I like to listen to movies and shows in the original language because there's
Yeah.
something cool about it. Because it doesn't matter to watch what language they dub it, it will get weird, very weird. And Brazil has the best dubbing teams from the whole world. If you see dubbing from any other countries, it's just trash.
Yeah, I've never seen a lot of them. I like to watch everything in English
It's
right now.
weird. It's very, very. But as talking about the original language, we talked about Money Heist. This is Spanish.
Yeah.
If you watch it in English, Portuguese, and in the Spanish, original Spanish, it's different because you can kind of feel the reality of what the actors are trying to portray.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
I-
Very, very different.
I think it's kind of different for different cultures to show their emotions and things like that on their voices.
Yes.
So I think that this is what gives me the most impact.
And as you dub the movie or show, it kind of loses it.
Yeah.
That feeling, that intensity that the actors try to portray. So I don't like watching dubbed movies in any language. Some people say, oh, you don't like watching things in Portuguese, you just want to watch them in English. No, the original language. For a time, when I was a teenager, I watched a lot of anime, Japanese cartoon, and it's hideous to listen to them in Portuguese, but as you do that in Japanese, it's a completely different thing. It's an entire different universe.
I don't know what to say because I'm not a big fan of anime, so
No, I'm not anymore, but I was a very big fan back then.
I think I don't even know if this is an anime. I think the only one that I've ever watched is Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z is the most famous one, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's different because I watched as a kid in Portuguese on TV, but when I was older, I thought, well, let's try it again in Japanese. It's another story, completely different story.
Never tried it.
It's amazing how things differ from when you watch them in your language and the original language. It's very, very different. You kind of feel more, even though you don't understand, because it's an interesting about human communication. Let's go back to the first topic, the first episode. Communication, you don't really need to understand word by word, but you can understand feeling. You can definitely understand feeling.
For sure.
I might be speaking to Arabic people that don't know a word in English, but they can understand what I feel, because feeling has no language.
Also, dogs do that.
Yes.
They can understand what you're feeling. Maybe if you are angry with them, they're just gonna run away.
Yes, because they not only see facial expression, but they can understand in your tone of voice.
For sure. Have you seen that experiment? The guy said, "I love you" for a dog, but very angry, and the dog started to run away. That's
I didn't see that, but that's something.
yeah.
There's also that experiment. I forgot. I think it's Masaru Emoto, a Japanese man. He collected glasses of water and said different things to different glasses, froze them, and looked at them at the microscope. And there were the ones that he didn't say anything, the ones that he cursed, that he said bad words to them, and there were the ones that he said good words. He basically caressed the glasses, said, "I love you, you're great, you're wonderful," glasses, and other, "Fuck you, I hate you, I will destroy you," something like that. And then, as he looked at the microscope, the molecules were completely different. The ones that he hated at were so disformed and looked like something monstrous. The ones who he didn't say anything, just froze them and looked at them, were normal, let's say. And the ones he said, "I love you, you're wonderful, you're beautiful," formed the most beautiful shapes the water could. So, and there's another experiment, a funny one. The guy with plants, because plants also feel and they emit signals. As you can see, you see some videos on YouTube where the guy, he puts some clamps on a leaf and he makes music with the pulses of the plant. The clamps just turn the electrical pulses into sound, and the plant starts making music by itself.
That's interesting.
And there's this experiment with this guy. There were some plants. Every day he went to the tree and plucked the leaf. Every day. And then by some time, as he moved closer to the tree, it started to emit danger signal. As the guy just walked onto it. And there's another experiment where the guy did something close to what Masaru Emoto did. He just spoke things to the plants and they grew differently. The ones that he was aggressive to, some died, some didn't grow, some didn't bloom flowers. And the ones he said good things grew faster, stronger, healthier, with prettier flowers.
Oh, come on, pretty interesting.
So yes, everything feels.
Awesome. All right.
It's very interesting. You can look for yourself and see.
What is the name you said?
Masaru Emoto, Japanese guy.
All right, I think I've heard of him.
He did the water molecules. But if you look at the plants, you'll find pretty easily.
I think that everything has water on its composition. So yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing I was thinking about is The Matrix. I think they are going to release a new one next year.
Boy. Wow.
What?
We just hit something that would speak for 5 hours. The bloody Matrix.
So, well,
did you see? It's an interesting fact. They said something about that the John Wick universe is the same universe as the Matrix. Something like Neo and John Wick were the same guy. Just like Neo was reinserted to the Matrix and became John Wick.
Yeah, it could
Something
be.
like that in this kind of thought.
But John Wick's another movie that is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that first scene when there's a whole operation entering the guy's house trying to kill him, and he absolutely kills everyone.
The pencil one.
Yeah. No.
There's the pencil.
There's the
one.
pencil one on the first one.
I don't think there's the first
The
one.
first
I think
fight
it's
scene.
the third one.
The first fight scene on the
I
house.
don't remember exactly. I remember the scene, but not exactly because I watched it just a few years ago, so I can't really remember. But it's a great movie.
And he had a lot of training with guns and martial
Yes.
arts, so
You
it
can
feels
see.
it feels very real.
You can see on YouTube. He's training.
Yeah.
He learned judo.
Yeah, that's
Judo,
awesome.
and I think Muay Thai too, to make the fight scenes.
Yeah.
He's an amazing actor. He's so humble.
For sure, yes.
If you see him on the street talking to people, he's so humble.
But do you think that he is so humble like that because he lost everything, basically?
I don't really
I think that he lost
matters.
yeah, maybe not, but I think he lost his wife and a kid. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I know he lost some very important people
Yeah.
in his life, but I don't know. Just don't know who.
Yeah, I'm not sure as well.
But actually, if you think about a cosmic view, a spiritual view, it doesn't really matter what happened to you. I'm not trying to be a harsh guy. No. Screw your feelings. Just trying to view from outside. You go through what you have to go through to grow, spiritually speaking. So as that happens, maybe if that didn't happen, he wouldn't be a nice guy. But because of what happened to him, doesn't matter what, he became such a good guy.
Yeah, for sure.
He does what's right, he does what's good for people. He's humble, he keeps his life simple, so he learned a big lesson. So that's what matters really. Not saying his pain is to be put
Yeah,
put aside because screw that. No, it's a trauma. He needs to be, cared for.
for sure.
But still, that made him that great guy.
And for me, he's the most awesome introvert guy in terms of public speaking, because he's a Hollywood actor,
Yes.
and I think that for me, I think I've never seen anyone do that. He is the only guy that is introverted that can captivate an audience like he does.
It's because everybody knows him because he's such
Yeah,
a great
probably.
actor and he's that guy.
Yeah, there are probably also some traits here and there that do that,
Of course.
but
Everybody's
that's awesome.
just a bag of things.
Yeah.
Traits and flaws.
I think that being humble is one of them, as you said.
Yes. All those traits. Being nice to people because he's kind, he's nice to people.
For sure.
You
I
know,
like-
how many actors are so famous but they're known for treating people like shit? No. So everybody hates them, hates their guts. Wherever they go, they just hate them.
Yeah.
But there are the
Too
ones
bad.
like Keanu Reeves that treats people like they were much, much better than him. Not just equals, but better than him. He always puts himself down. You can find the videos where he's been filmed on trams, subways, and he just gives his place to women, elderly people.
Oh, I saw that one. One of them. at
There are
least.
many of those. On bus stops where there are many people, he stands up for other people to sit.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
And it's difficult to find.
For sure, it is.
Very difficult to find. But talking about the Matrix, forgetting Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Do you know if it's gonna be released next year or maybe 2023?
I have no idea.
I think I saw something about that, but I'm not really sure. And I don't even know if it's gonna be a good movie because you know what they're doing.
Yeah, because the Wachowski brothers that are now sisters, the directors, they change everything because you see the quality of Matrix 1 to Matrix 2, 3, Revelations or Revolutions, I don't remember which one is 2 and which one is 3.
I don't know.
I never say it properly. But the quality went downhill. Matrix was the movie. Matrix 2 was kind of meh. Matrix 3 was something so.
Yeah, I think that the only thing that improved was the fighting scenes. They were better, they had more
CGI.
technology, yeah, CGI, and that was the best for me, but the best one is Matrix 1. First one. For sure.
Yeah, the great movie. There's so many lessons in that movie. So many lessons. I can't just say them because it's so big of a movie.
Do you have I don't know, something that you like the most in Matrix? I don't know.
Everything.
A lesson, maybe something to share.
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
What about it?
You remember the scene where he talks to the Oracle?
First one,
First movie.
I'm not sure.
The entire thing is a lesson. Because there is the Oracle, the Oracle, God, Thunder was the Oracle, something like that. And then is on, suburban place, in a house, in a small apartment, many kids and people in the hallways, and there are the kids, working with their minds. And then you get an elderly lady, with that mother stereotype, grandmotherly stereotype. Baking cookies, smoking a cigarette. It just shatters your conception of what would the oracle be. It explodes everything. And then he stands. She looks at him. Oh. And she says, no, you're not the one. You want to be, but you're not the one. And there's that part, don't care, don't mind the vase.
Oh yeah.
That she turns what vase and breaks it. And she also tells him, I don't remember the lines properly, but something like, well, if I didn't tell you about the vase, you wouldn't have broken it. But as I said, it's so trucks again because it's business day. So
let's go.
Always trucks. We don't have the infrastructure yet to soundproof everything, but there is.
Good enough. So start.
Yeah. So there is this scene, right? And she says something like that. Well, if I didn't tell you about the vase, you wouldn't have broken it. So it tells us a lot that the biggest things in life are simple. Just for starters, just to begin talking about the oracle scene. Because, it's an elderly woman in the back end of nowhere who is the most powerful being, who transcends the matrix by its very existence, just like Agent Smith would. She just something above the matrix and lives there, like whatever.
Yeah.
And she was just caring for the people who lived with her, like a mother or grandmother, because it's more like, I would say it's more grandmotherly. Her stereotype. Archetype would be better use. Archetype. And then she shows that it doesn't matter what the oracle has to say. You make your own choices. You make your destiny, your fate. You create it, you nourish it, and it begins to happen. You just can't avoid certain things, right? Some things you have to go through, period. For your own learning, your understanding, your own self-improvement, self-knowledge. And then you get this idea that even though there are some things you just can't get rid of because you have to go through them to your self-realization and evolution, spiritual evolution, but there are many things that as you evolve, as you grow as a person, you can change in your life. You can choose what you're going to go through. Like the vase.
Oh yeah. So I have the free will to create your own path.
Yes, even though there are some things you gotta do, you gotta go through, but even those things, you can just, make them better. For example, Neil really was the one. He was the chosen one, but
there are some theories that say that he wasn't the chosen one at the beginning, but
he
became the chosen one after he died the first time.
Yes.
He was shot by Agent Smith, I think.
Yes.
The full clip was shot in
Yes, he was shot several times. There's something about him
was
because
reborn.
He transcended.
Yeah, that's it.
He understood, well, this is the matrix, is only in my head, so I can transcend it. So he understood the system. He became the system. It's a very, very good, it's a very, very intense thing if you stop to think about it. Because our life is just like that. Why are there people that live outside the law? judges, many lawyers, corrupt politicians, because they know the law. They are the law. They are the ones.
The ones.
They live outside of it.
Yeah, kind
Simple.
of.
You can see that a rather weird example. The Queen Elizabeth II.
Mm.
She can't commit any crimes because she is the law. If she is to start a rampage and shoot people on the street, no, Grand Theft Auto thing. She can, she's the law. Her car doesn't have license plates. She can't commit crimes. So she doesn't need. She does what the hell goes through her head.
But she probably can't drive.
She can, yes. She was a mechanic at World War II.
Oh my god.
She fought in World War II.
Because, for example, the president of the US, he can't drive.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can't drive. They need to have someone to drive for them.
A driver, yes. Basically, but she can drive. She can because she's the law.
Got it.
Even
No, I got your point.
if she couldn't drive, but she says, no, I can, she can. Something like that. And we go back to the corrupt politicians, the dirty cops, the underworld. They are above the law because they make the law. And even though they're not above, they make so the law can get them. You see that in Neo. The law was better leaders,
Yeah,
which
got
would
it.
lead to a better world.
That's a good point.
It's a very interesting point. And
Yeah.
before people say, oh, it's just BS, spiritual BS. No, it's not. Did you know that people who are depressed, depression, the disease, they tend to let their houses a mess, dirty, rotten food on the fridge. Why? They're manifesting their inner self outwards. They live in the dark. And it's scientifically proved that sunlight cures depression.
Oh, yeah.
The best medicine for depression is sunlight.
Yeah, I saw something about that.
And they live in the dark. And when people start to get sunlight, to go on walks, doing physical activities, they start cleaning their houses. They start getting better, and they start cleaning their houses.
They stop living in their minds and start doing things. Kind
No,
of like that.
something like that, but because it manifests itself. Manifestation.
Got it.
Your room, this is psychology, it's not spiritual BS. Your room is a canvas of what is in your mind. If you see a person that is so confused inside their head, look inside of their wardrobe. It will be messy. It will be a chaos, because their mind's a chaos. Your bedroom, your wardrobe is a manifestation of your mind, your psyche. The sink, the kitchen sink, is a manifestation of the house's emotions. Your stove, the oven, and the stove are a manifestation of your spirituality.
That's interesting.
It's
We're
very
talking about-
interesting. It's very interesting.
Well, I thought about a messy house. I thought that it maybe had something to do with the mind, but not the oven, stove, and the sink.
Yes, I'm talking here hermeticism. People should read the Kybalion.
Never read about it.
I sent you twice already.
Oh yeah, but I've not read.
Yeah, you should.
Being completely sincere.
You should.
I'll try.
It's
Right
one
now.
of the hermetic laws.
Oh, I remember you taught me something about the hermetic laws when we were walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we took those walks, it's something like, I forgot the English translation. I'll try to roughly translate here because there is the correct expression. As above, so below. As below, so above. Which we would roughly translate to what is above is just like what's
Below.
inside, below. And what's below is just as what's above. So what's inside you is just like what's outside, and what's outside is just like what's inside. So you can understand, you can, solve a person's head looking at their house. And you see, some psychologists use that kind of exercise, for people to get better from anxiety, depression. Start cleaning your room, then you clean your house, and keep it organized and clean. Their mind starts to, aggregate themselves into order.
Nice.
Because of this law. It's psychological, completely, but it's a law.
It probably has a lot to do with communication as well, isn't it? Because
Sure.
if it affects your mind, it's going to affect your communication, probably.
Sure.
So going back to episode 1.
Episode 1, because if you look at it, talking about communication, sometimes the patient can't express themselves to the psychologist, to the doctor. But then, if you take the time to walk inside your patient's house and take a deep look at what's really going on inside the house, you dismantle, map their entire head.
Yeah, that's a problem that I think I never had, because sometimes my mind was very messy, but I went to a psychologist once and I could explain exactly what I was feeling. So there was not all that messy, I just needed to sort things around,
So
I was very bad, I was kinda anxious about a lot of things, but I knew exactly what I was feeling. I just needed a direction or something to just sort the things.
You need order to chaos.
Yeah.
But you can't have order without chaos. If you want to change your life, you gotta make it chaotic.
Yeah, I think you're right. I saw it some months ago. That really improved my life.
The universe is chaos.
Yeah.
But it's also order. I'm not talking about the universe like, spiritual BS.
No, I got
If you
you.
look at the universe, the physical universe, it's chaos, but it's also order. The Big Bang, the most chaotic event of our universe. For what? For order. It's very interesting. And
Yeah, it was the thing that brought every one of us to existence. So
yes.
yeah.
And then you get that what? True Neo, transcending the matrix. Because you see, he died, right? Shot by Agent Smith, and then he sought order of that chaos that the matrix is. He saw, the mainframe, the code behind the matrix. That's chaos. But he starts to order it, so he's back alive. And takes us back to the Oracle scene.
Oracle.
And she said, you're not the one, he became the one. Remember, we were talking about free will.
Yeah.
You are fated to some things, but you can change them by your own will, by your own power. Sometimes it's very difficult because there are higher, much higher laws, transcendental laws that makes us go through what we need to go through. But our free will determine how bad, how intense things will be. How hard the law will hit. And how long the effects will be. How long will it take for it to get through it? It's on you. Your free will. You're fated to go through that. But how will you do it?
That's up
That's
to
up to
you.
you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the oracle. entire article scene. That's what it tells us. So
yeah, that's really good.
So there's just many minutes talking about a fragment.
Oh yeah, 37.
5 minutes of
let's
movie.
go. Yeah.
And I'm just cutting it because there's much more.
Yeah, for sure.
Much more.
And do you think that we live in some kind of matrix? That we are the protagonists and we are talking to a lot of NPCs all around?
Basically. Not like the movie, of course, but basically. There is something very interesting. Did you know that our reality is a hallucination? You know that? Because, for example, our brain doesn't see, our brain doesn't hear, our brain doesn't feel. The eyes capture light, send an electrical impulse to our brain, and it tries to unfold those impulses, and I think that this is it. No? A very interesting proof of that is the color pink. Did you know that pink doesn't exist?
What do you mean?
Pink is a hallucination. Because we see basically the three colors and the three cones: red, green, and blue, right?
It's a mix of all of them that makes the colors,
And tones of red turn to tones of green that turn to tones of blue. That's how our brain sees things, right? Pink is exactly between red and blue. But what's between red and blue? Green. But pink's not green. So what the hell is it? The brain doesn't understand it. So let's make something. And it creates pink. Pink doesn't exist. It's a hallucination. It's kind of like it bugs, you know?
Oh, well, I think we're gonna have to sleep with that. So, yeah.
Our brain kind of bugs, you know? It has an internal bug. What the fuck is it? And it hallucinates. Let's make something out of it. So pink doesn't exist.
Where did you see that shit?
Why?
I don't know, because that's not something I would look for. I don't know.
I look for many things. I'm just interested in things.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
Because let's take another example. Let's take this blue from here. As I said, we hallucinate our reality. So this is blue, right?
Yeah.
But what if what I see blue is your red? When we were kids, we learn colors. So there goes our mother. See, this is blue. So okay, this thing I see is blue. But what if the blue I see is not the blue you see? Sometimes what you see as blue would be red or yellow for me. But conventionally, it should call it blue.
Yeah, I think that the tone of blue is not exactly the same for everyone, but
yes, but it can be something else completely.
If you're seeing red, I think you have, I don't remember the name of that.
For the name too. You see one color.
I don't even know the name in Portuguese. I can't remember.
Portuguese. Colorblind is in English.
Colorblind.
Colorblind. Daltonismo in Portuguese.
All right. So, yeah. I think
that's
you should have that problem.
But that's different.
Why?
A colorblind person will only see one color. Shades, many shades, all that same color. Blue, let's suppose the colorblind person only sees green. Blue will be green, green will be green. This black table will be green. A shade of green. They only see green. Green, black, and white. They're the three colors they see. Because they're colorblind.
All right.
But it's different because what your brain understands as blue might be what my brain understands as red or yellow.
Okay. That's pretty...
Because our brain hallucinates. You know, it's an impulse, a pulse of light. My brain doesn't see, but what I see is inside my brain. What I hear is not in my ears, it's my brain. Want a proof? as you speak and you listen to yourself speaking.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there are the bone structures, right? So the voice comes through ourselves before they go outside. So that's it. There's this thing.
It's when you try to listen to yourself when you send an audio voice.
Yes.
WhatsApp.
And if you plug one ear and speak, it's a third voice. There's the one you listen when you listen to yourself. There's one you listen when you were speaking. And there's this one that you listen when you're plug one ear. A third voice. Why? Of course, there are the bone structures that make things up. But why? Isn't your brain supposed to interpret it as your voice?
Yeah, I think so.
Why, when do you think with your voice? You listen to your voice when you're thinking.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
Isn't it a hallucination?
That's a
You're not really speaking. When you're thinking, you're not speaking, but you're speaking to yourself. Without saying words, but you listen to yourself. Why?
That's a fucked up question.
Because what makes your voice is your brain.
That's gonna fuck my brain.
That's the matrix. Let's drink to that. And that's water. That's not vodka or cachaça.
Yeah, it could be. Talking about the conversation that we are having right now.
You see, you listen may not know, but I'm a hypnotherapist. I make hypnosis. And there's hypnotic trick, right? It's called stage hypnosis or street hypnosis, where you do it just to prove it works. It's not therapeutic. But I did it, I think, 2 or 3 times to make people drink water and taste something else. There was a guy, Daniel, right?
Oh yeah, your friend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once I did it to him. He drank water, think it was Coke. He even burped from the gas of his imaginary Coke.
Come on.
I did it to another guy, it was orange juice, it was water. He drank orange juice. He tasted the juice. He tasted the sweetness of the juice. Just drink water. You see on YouTube the guys making hypnosis where people, grab an onion and chew it like it was an apple, believe it was an apple. Their eyes don't even, cry. They don't even cry. Try to chew an onion.
Nah.
You die.
It's not gonna happen.
Right?
But
you cry and you'll be,
No, but I got your point. It's
spicy.
because your brain is the thing that commands everything.
So basically when you
If you
hallucinate,
trick your brain, you can do
yes.
anything.
There are cases in Brazil where I don't remember really the case. Something like a woman needed a heart surgery.
Huh.
She would die if she didn't take the surgery. But she was very allergic to the anesthesia. So the anesthesia would kill her.
Too bad.
They hypnotized her. So the doctor made the surgery. Then the hypnotherapist came back and released her from the hypnosis.
Come on, man.
They did it. Dentists do that. Many tattoo artists do that. They hypnotize the person so they don't feel it's going to be tattooed.
That's interesting.
You can turn things on and off. There's a technique, I did that once, to make the person think she had, that stomach reduction things, surgeries.
Yeah. And?
She lost, I think it was 14 kilograms in a month.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
I switched, no, this wasn't the case. In this case, the woman lost 14 kilos. I made her switch her taste for pizza. She loved salad and soda to water. So every time she would want to drink soda, he went to drink water. And every time she would have the compulsion, because she eat compulsively, every time that compulsion kicked in, that she would, pizza, burger, something like that, she started to eat salad. There was a time I was talking to her on our appointments. She was talking about salad and her mouth started to water just by talking about salad.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about a hamburger right now.
See,
We
something
started
like,
talking about food and I'm, oh my god.
something like that. So, where is it if not in your brain? This is the main frame for the matrix. And as you see, I don't remember it's Buddhist. They talk about the Maya. Maya is the illusion, the Maya veil, the veil of illusion. Because everything in the world is an illusion. Because the Buddhists, it's interesting because Buddhists are basically atheists.
I didn't know that, but interesting.
They have the Dharmakaya, which would be God, but they don't consider it as God, right? We as Western society think of the Dharmakaya as God, the primal cause.
Yeah, but what would be that then? A force of nature, an energy, or
God, as we understand, God, the creator,
all right,
your maker, no?
got it.
The first cause, the primal cause of everything that happened. But they don't see it as God, right? But they look to go inwards and inwards and inwards because reality is inside their mind, so they could transcend the veils of Maya, the veils of illusion. Because everything that's what's illusion to a Buddhist is what's transitory. This body is an eternal, it's transitory. These glasses are transitory. They take a really long time to decompose, but they're not forever. So everything that's not forever, it's an illusion. So where is it? Here. So they kind of try to decode their brains to achieve enlightenment. So when are you enlightened? When you transcend it. There are people, you can look, you can Google it, that don't eat. They are the breatharians. They live from sunlight because they transcended food.
What the fuck?
There's even an Indian guy. He was kind of, imprisoned, let's say, in a hospital to make exams after exams, and he was kind of like a big brother, Many cameras filming if he's not going to eat or drink anything. He spent, I think, 14 days just sitting there. He lives from sunlight.
What the freaking hell is happening?
And it's real, it's crazy. I wouldn't do that, but it's real. We have here in Brazil people who do that. They call it sun gazing. You can browse sun gazing. People who live from sunlight. They stare at the sun when it's rising or dawn or dusk, 5-10 seconds. They look at the sun and it's enough. That's what they do. They basically photosynthesize their food.
It would be nice if we could not sleep. I would like that.
There are techniques,
No, I don't think I want to.
There are techniques where people can sleep for 3 hours a night. There are techniques. You know that Da Vinci didn't sleep? He took many naps, many 20-minute naps, but he was basically through. He stopped everything to go to sleep. He took a nap, 20, 30 minutes nap max, got up, did what he had to do, and kept working for a couple of hours, then slept for more than 30 minutes, then hours, 30 minutes.
So he had a lot of naps.
Many naps.
Oh yeah.
And there is one that you sleep, you just enter, as you close your eyes, you enter REM sleep, the deep sleep, or really rest. So you sleep for 3 hours because that's what really sleep, where we really rest at night, is when we're in deep sleep mode. And it takes 3 hours.
Awesome.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
There are people who can kind of unlock that and sleep 3 hours a night. They close their eyes, deep sleep, wake up, follow with their lives.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
yes.
good, yeah, it's good. So, hold on, 51 minutes.
Yeah, baby.
I wanted to go to another subject, but I don't know if we will have time.
Let's try. What time is it?
It's 3:20.
Maybe, let's see.
You have? I was thinking about another movie.
Which one? If it doesn't take us half an hour?
Yeah, I think it will take more than half an hour.
So we're going to postpone.
Post it on another one, yeah.
So
Because it was Batman, so probably we would take an hour to talk about Batman.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're invited to the next awesome episode of the BroTalk.
Let's talk about Batman, probably.
Batman, which
some
one
more
do I
things,
know?
probably.
It's a surprise. Don't tell me it's a surprise, but it's a
Yeah, okay.
Batman.
Not gonna tell you, okay. Let's let everything for the next episode.
It's probably Christopher Nolan's Batman, but I don't know it yet.
Yeah, the voice is almost there, okay.
Almost there. Where is it? Sorry, come. I can't do that.
So yeah, we've come to another wrap. And I have no water anymore. So
That's a wrap. I'm finished, please. I spoke too much again.
So guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching our podcast. And let us know what you think down below in the comments.
And our Instagram links will be here.
On the description probably.
Yes.
Right? So we'll see you
on the next awesome freaking episode of the BroTalk. So
see you guys.